First and foremost, we must start by placing the cameras back in their proper place. In order to do so, the first thing is first, we must make sure the cameras are completely locked in their proper places. That means placing the tilt and pan brakes on, placing them back in a clockwise portion. Next up is the center lock. You will pull out the center lock and twist it clockwise to lock it into place. If it does not completely lock into place, what you must do is make sure that the camera is in a level position. When you move the cameras back into their proper places, you must have two people. The first person move it back to its proper area. A second person will take the camera wire, coil the camera cable into a circular position. Try to get down as low as possible in order to help it stay in a stationary position. As the second person is coiling the cable, person number one is taking the camera back to its proper spot. For the placement of camera 1 in Studio A, the proper place for it to go is at the edge of the window of the control room. As we coil the camera wire, bring the camera itself close, like so. Also, we must make sure that when we place everything back, the viewfinder must be turned black. By doing this, you must turn the contrast counterclockwise all the way and the brightness counterclockwise all the way. For camera 2, bring it back right next to camera 1. Another thing to remember is to make sure each camera is locked on its pedestal wheels. What you can do is press down on all 3 pedestal wheels of all 3 cameras, like so. The only difference with camera number 3 is that camera 3 is a robotic camera. Therefore, it does not have a pedestal wheel as camera 1 and camera 2 seem to have. You must continue to make the coil. You can simply grab camera 3 as such on its tripod and wheel it back to its proper position, which is adjacent to camera number 2. Now, you might find a spaghetti load of camera wire here. Now, don't worry about that too much. As long as the main portions of all cameras are coiled properly. Another thing to remember is to make sure that the lens cap for all cameras are placed back in their proper positions over the lens. And our 3 cameras are placed back in their proper positions. Last but not least, we have our confidence and floor monitors. They must be placed adjacent to cameras 3. As you can see, the confidence monitor is placed first, as such, to not obstruct the view of our lighting grid. And for the floor monitor, it must be adjacent to the confidence monitor and in front of wall box number 1. You want to make sure that the coil for the floor monitor is coiled. It is important to make sure that you straighten out the wire as best as you can, just as I am doing here. Because, as you can see, at times, things can get rather tangled up. We will now coil the cable for our floor monitor. The snake wire, just like our XLR cables or our camera wires, must be coiled in a circular motion. You can do so by holding it in your hand as such, just like you're coiling the XLR cables or BNC cables or extension cords. And when you're all done, please place the base of the snake adjacent to the coil and then place it neatly underneath wall box 2. And now you have properly put back the cameras and the monitors for Studio